Feel this way forever. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
All right, welcome to the Everyday Football Pad. Today we're giving our top 5 AFC teams that'll challenge the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. With me is Murry Harris, and I am Aaron Irvine. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good, man. Hanging in there, ready to go.
You ready to go?
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Well, we'll start off with you today. Who you got for your top 5 you think will challenge my Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl?
All right, number 1, I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are just right at the cusp of getting it, turning around, and getting to that Super Bowl. You know, I think the disappointment of 14-2 and getting knocked off by the Titans hurt a lot. And I think that as you can see, the progress of Lamar Jackson and the team just loading up weapons and seeing what we need to I said we. Yeah, I am a Raven fan. But what the Ravens need to fix. Yeah, I slipped there.
I do the same thing, so don't worry about it.
But what they need to fix and getting those weapons of, hey, we can't just get it to Hollywood. You know, it's not happening all the time. And bringing in Sammy Watkins, I think that's going to be a big difference for that offense. You know, so I feel like when it comes down to moving and progressing, you go from 14-2, get knocked off as, you know, upset by the Titans, you know, that hump with the Titans. And we got one more hump, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. So getting in that AFC championship game, I think that's the next step for the Ravens. I do see the Kansas City Chiefs possibly going right back to the AFC championship. I know that they're hungry and they want that payback and get that ring. So I think that the Ravens will be in the AFC championship. My number 2 is the Tennessee Titans. I think we all know that addition like Julio Jones is paramount. Like, that's going to happen. That right there is a difference to have him on one side and have Brown on the other. And we all know what Derrick Henry brings to the table. So I think that very similar to the Ravens, they are equal, as in they have a good defense, balanced offense, and are right there in the hunt, and great coaching. I think that their coach fires them up, and I know that they like that underdog role, just like the Ravens, of coming in and upsetting someone. So I do see them coming back and being in the hunt to go to the AFC Championship. Number 3, I like the Bills. I know that they are very close themselves, and I think that with Josh Allen just getting better, that will keep them in the hunt. At the same time, I do feel like teams that like them going 13-3 reminds me of the Ravens of going 14-2, and you know, you got a target on your back now. And with that being said, film study, not knowing what Josh Allen could bring, the Bills are going to do the same thing or try to do similar to the same thing, change it up. But people are going to catch on to Josh Allen, what he's doing, and that possibly could slow down their progress too. And instead of being 13-3, might end up being a little lower than that, maybe it's 11-6. So, but they'll still be in that playoff hunt. So you never know what could happen. Number 4, I got the Patriots. I had thought about a couple other teams, but I said we keep sleeping on the Bill Belichick and them and seeing how the disappointment of that season. But I do feel like they will be back and with vengeance, especially being that they keep adding different players to the roster. It looks like they're coming back for a big season. My last one is the Chargers. Chargers just close. You know, they were fighting with Kansas City. They fought with so many teams, and it just like the coaching, it just kind of slowed them down. Like they couldn't get over that hump. And I feel like this is a breakout year for Herbert. I feel like this is the one where, just like everybody did not know what Josh Allen can do. Yes, he's projected as the rookie of the year. Was rookie of the year and everything else, but I feel like Herbert, this is the year that he takes that step and they get over that hump, and next thing you know, they're in the playoffs. I do feel like they will get one on the Kansas City Chiefs, which will get them in that playoff, and possibly where everybody's like, okay, they're for real. They can actually make this happen. I do not see the Chargers losing 2 games to the Chiefs this year, which puts them up in front of the Raiders.
They almost beat them twice last year, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Went back and forth. It's in my head that I know that team is just like, we just need the coaching, and once they get the coaching, is on. And I'm not even gonna go. My 6 is the Browns, but I think it definitely is one of those cowboy feels to me. They get everybody, and it's strong. I would say AFC North is the strongest division. Let's not sleep on Joe Burrow, and I'm not going to sleep on the Pittsburgh Steelers ever. So you got a tough division going with over there. We'll talk about the AFC North some other time. Go ahead.
All right. Well, like I said, we have the same teams, different order. All right. So I got the Bills as my number 1 threat. I feel as though they're at plus 1,000 to get there, take the Super Bowl. With the combination of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, that was a high potent offense, at least in the passing game. All right. One thing I'll say though is that Josh Allen, he had, what do I have here? 421 yards rushing last year. That was only 60 yards behind Zach Moss, the leading rusher of the running backs. So they need to get a real running game and not have their leading rusher the quarterback only be 60 yards behind the leading runner. So that is something that needs to be addressed, I feel. Improve that, and then they'll have a better shot of getting over the hump they couldn't get over last year. It can't all be on Josh Allen's legs. And he has a powerful arm to be 4,500 yards in the air, 37 touchdowns. But they got to get some help there. But with him and Stephon Diggs, I didn't expect that from Stephon Diggs when he got there last year. Josh Allen was trashed, I thought, the year before, and then he came out of nowhere and completely just, it shocked me. So I was really impressed by Josh Allen last year. Number 2, the Ravens. They are, when you have Lamar Jackson back there, he could take over a game at any time. Okay, it's just they have to improve their passing game. He only had 2,700 yards passing, but he did have 1,000 yards rushed. And so I feel like that substitutes that and makes up a difference. But if they can get some more support there, like you mentioned, they added Sammy Watkins to the mix there. And I think that's a real number 1 receiver they can have. He was number 3 with the Chiefs, but the Chiefs with all their weapons, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, he was third. Also, he was injured a lot. I think Sammy Watkins stays healthy. He'll be a big help for giving him a nice tall speed. Sam Watkins has a lot of speed too. It was like hidden because Tyreek Hill was so fast, but Sam Watkins got a lot of speed as well. So J.K. Dobbins is going to be probably leading. I know you have Gus Edwards as well, but J.K. Dobbins is a monster. I think that if they just keep pushing the ball towards him, he had 800 yards rushing last year. Okay, number 3, I have the Titans. I think Tannehill is a solid QB. When they added Julio Jones, like you mentioned, that adds another element. I think with him and A.J. Brown, that's going to be a duo that will be hard to mess with next season. So also, but it all runs through Derrick Henry, and that's their whole offense goes through him, and they need to keep it that way. To keep it that way, then they can air it out with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Right? And number 4, I have Titans were at plus 2,800 there, and the Ravens were at plus 14. I forgot to mention that going into for Vegas for the odds. Number 4, the Chargers at plus 3,000. The chances, the odds, Vegas odds.
It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good odds right there. So you want to put some money on that.
Yep.
Put some money on that just in case. You never know. That's good odds right there. I say they won their last 4 out of 5 games last year. So they're on a tear. They should have won many more games. Like I mentioned before, they almost beat the Chiefs twice, and that was the game that Herbert came off the bench. He's supposed to Tyrod Taylor got punctured, and Herbert came in, and I was like, who is this kid? We knew it from Oregon, but out of nowhere. He wasn't supposed to play, and then he just played well against the Chiefs. So that's a tough spot to be in. So I was like, this is trouble going down in the future. So I think Justin Herbert's going to be really good. He's got a bright future in the league. I think he's going to be a stud this year. And they got Darwin James coming back from injury, playing safety. So they already had a good defense, and now they got this stud safety coming back. I think they're going to be trouble with the new coach, new system. I think that's going to be trouble. And number 5, I have the Browns. They're at plus 1,600 to take it. And it all goes through Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So as long as they keep them in the mix or keep them going, the Browns are always going to be in the mix. And I believe Stefanski, he loves to run. So they're going to keep doing that and, protect Baker Mayfield that way, because I don't know how I feel about him. It's up and down. He's inconsistent. Sometimes he looks good. Sometimes he looks, what's he doing out there?
Yeah.
Just give it to Chubb, give it to Hunt.
They still have like Landry, and they have I was thinking about Odell, and I mean, you got 2 Pro Bowl receivers, 2 Pro Bowl running backs. Like they're set. They're set. They look good.
They are, and Odell's got a lot to prove.
Oh man, it's gonna be hard. It's a hard division. Thinking about it. Oh,
Jarvis Landry's solid. He's solid. Odell. If they got to make it work. They got to make it work there. He's come back from injury with a lot to prove, because he heard everyone saying how much better Baker looked. As soon as he went down. So
they went to the playoffs
without him. So he needs, he should be the piece that takes him over the hump to the Super Bowl. So we'll see. But Baker looked pretty good in the last year. With Odell, if they can figure out a way to make it work, I think that they could be trouble. But they are the Browns. It's tough to really say I'm going to put all my weight on the Browns, but they have a lot of star pieces. I mean, they really look like on paper, they look so talented that it's like, how can you beat this team? As long as Baker Mayfield doesn't screw it up, how can you? It's not fair they have Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield with Jarvis Landry and Odell, and not even talk about the defense.
And then, and that's what I'm saying. You think about the defense, it's like we talk about the Pro Bowl receivers, the Pro Bowl running backs, and then you have the Pro Bowl DNs of Garrett and Clowney, like on the edge. And then the DBs, he got like almost like 3 or 4 new DBs, got some rookie first round. Like they are looking good all around, and I think that's why everybody is seeing that the odds of the Browns going up it's like, hey, let's not forget that they got these pieces, and let's not forget what they did last year playing the Chiefs, at home. Yes, I know Mahomes was out, but man, like they were in it. They were in it to win it. And it was like the inexperience of being in that situation, like, holy crap, we could win this game, is what, set them apart, where Andy Reid said, let's go for it. Let's get this done. Where they were playing more like conservative at a certain point, that they couldn't do it. But to think that they were that close to going to the AFC Championship, the Browns, it's like, wow. Yeah, they got something going over there.
It was a play away. I mean, it was a play away. One big play there. And so we got out of that one. We got lucky with that one. And I have an honorable mention, and you mentioned them as well, and it was the Patriots. I just feel, one, Belichick is still coaching. And so I feel as though whenever he's in there, you have a shot. They played pretty well last year. And that was with Cam Newton throwing for like 5 touchdowns. So, and they were a few more games and they would have had a winning record. The Patriots are 3,500 to win the Super Bowl. Okay. I think Cam is done, but maybe he could prove me wrong this year. He is a new squad, his whole COVID thing and all that, but I think he's done, but maybe they have a better chance with him than Mac Jones. But they did sign Jonnu Smith. They signed Hunter Henry. That'll help Cam Newton accuracy. I'm hoping less deep throws, hit those high quality tight end targets. And Damian Harris will play a huge part this year as well in the running game. So, and I just feel like Belichick's the man. Like they're getting people back that took the year off due to the COVID. They're all coming back. Belichick's going to scheme with everybody and figure out what's the best method? How do we get Cam to be successful this year? And I think it started with they made a point by getting Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. They're going to be using those guys a ton this year.
Trying to think about how he used Greg Olsen, like it was his target. So give me a good tight end, and I'll make it happen. Let's look at what worked for you, Cam, last when you were with Carolina, and looking at all the routes that he ran with Greg Olsen and what he's comfortable with, and doing that on a consistent basis with not just one good tight end, but two.
Two tight ends. They're ready to roll. Like I think people are, like I put the Bills number one because they proved it last year. Let me see what Cam can do. But I could just see it, boom, I don't know where the Patriots are the number one again in the AFC.
Yes. And everybody's just like, they went 7-9. I feel like it's just one of those sleeping teams where how can you sleep on them? I feel like because we've given so much credit this year, this past year to Tom Brady, not everybody, but just people are like sleeping like, well, now we know it wasn't Bill, it was Tom. And it's like Bill been consistent throughout. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like when Tom was out, he was still rolling, with the quarterback, which hyped up Matt Castle and hyped up Garoppolo. It was like everybody, got paid, and everybody got paid as far as the coaching staff of leaving and becoming head coaches or assistant coaches, OCs and DCs somewhere else because of what they done with Bill Belichick. Even if we go back to, Nick Saban, it's like, they've all been around him. There's a reason that he stays on the top of the mountain and just continues to be, consistent winner. And I feel like we're sleeping on a 7-9 team. The Patriots, like, oh, they're done. Tom's not there. And we look at the Ravens, the Titans, the Bills. It's like you said, the sleeper is like all of a sudden wake up the beast. And then next thing you know, you're like, dang, those guys are 12 and what?
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. That could have easily been 9-7. You could easily just flip flop it. Easy. I could think of what just off the top of my head, the game against Seattle, where it was just one Cam Newton rush. Like they had just been using it. They just didn't work that one time. Right. That hits it, they win. Or there's another play. Cam Newton he like fumbled the ball going down the sideline. And they should have won that game. I think they were going to have to kick a field goal or whatever. And if he just didn't fumble that ball. So there's 2 wins right there. If some little thing just happened, I mean, you can say that for any game, but I'm just thinking like that's 2 wins just like that. All of a sudden they're 9-7 and who knows what other situations were like that. So they're right there. They're a lot closer than I think a lot of people think. Yes. And in the division, I know everyone's hyping up the Bills and hyping up the Dolphins. But don't forget about that sleeping giant, the Patriots there, man. Belichick does not play. He will not have a losing record this season. No way.
No. It's a lot of just like you said. And I mean, just knowing COVID and how many of his team was like, I'm taking a break. The linebackers, like I'm out. I'll be back. So the team coming back, I feel like even the guys who were off are fired up. Because they know, like, that no one expects us to do anything. They're just like, you guys are toast. So I do see them coming back, and I think I do need to put some cash on that, or even if it's just an AFC Championship. I do. Yeah, just to get there. I can see that. The over/under of what people think they predicted, it just kind of went away for a little bit. I think because everybody's looking at the Browns, those moves and Titans moves, and not really looking at, hey, we're still the Patriots. Yeah. So as bad as we don't want to see them, it's like that game could go anyway. Either when you play them, any team. So we'll see. Oh man!
All right, all right, that's good. So we got our 5. It's very similar. We'll see because how this works is. So now who's going to be the sleeper team that we didn't even discuss here that's going to come out of nowhere? Like I thought maybe the Colts would be a shot. Then Wentz went down. So we'll have to see because they have some good pedigree over there too. Let's see where they fix it.
They're talking about a trade with Nick Foles possibly.
Yeah, Nick Foles or Philip Rivers.
Going back with his boy. Back. Yeah, so that's what Frank Wright, right? And he's the OC, and that was Nick Foles was his guy, Super Bowl winning. So you never know, he knows the system, and just go and grab him and bring him back. I'm like, hey, let's run it. Our sleeper, I think also is the Dolphins. That's it in my book.
Yep.
Dolphins look good. And my last one, I don't know. I have a whole bunch of things naming everybody, but I cannot because I am from the AFC North or like the AFC North is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not like they did not go 11-0. They did not win.
They did.
Games. They won some games, and now they got Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big. I hate that they went to Pittsburgh, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
they're definitely still in the hunt of like, hey, let's get over the hump. I mean, get over it, and let's get this win. So, yeah.
A lot of teams. I cannot wait for the season, especially when the game we had a game on for the Hall of Fame game this past Thursday. That got me all hyped up, and I am ready. I am ready for the season to start. I cannot wait.
I'm wondering, like, is the NFL getting better or something? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm excited about this season.
Yeah.
More than COVID was like, down. Like, you didn't know what was happening. I feel like this season is definitely like we're back to normal. Let's get it rolling. There's so many teams that just everybody's a sleeper almost, except you don't know what can happen. You just had the Bucks play the Suns in the NBA.
I know.
Like, it was always let's what LA versus Brooklyn Nets, and look how that happened.
Yep.
Nothing. So we never know what's going to happen this year, and COVID is still alive. So all it takes is a team losing a game because 13 guys got COVID. You just have to forfeit the game. You forfeit a divisional game, things turn. So we do have a wild season ahead of us, possibly.
17 games this year, too. 17 games and an extra playoff spot. So it's going to be wild.
Yes.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Check out our next video. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
All right.